He is Marco Boschini, and his presentation about network emulation. Sorry for the delay, but good luck.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Today I will be going to speak about how to improve your competency with MikroTik and Network Emulators. It's a fast-track presentation about setting up your personal lab on your laptop. I am Marco Boschini. I am from Italy. I am a MikroTik trainer, and I am a founder of course in MikroTik as a MikroTik training center in Italy. I living in Desenzano, near the Garda Lake, and I'm starting from a building automation system, automatize HVAC, lighting, security system, and today all these systems are going to be connected by IP technology. In the past only via bus system. Today is by EP, but some technicians, me in the past, don't have the knowledge about these technologies. And some years ago, technicians give me an IP addresses 192.168.10.223/24. What is /24? They load to me, and I realized that I need to study about networking technologies and to give something to other people to not have this problem in the future. But in 2018, a gynecologist told me, they are true. I have a problem because I don't can reach my customer in first person. I need to find a solution about this problem. And can VPNs help me? Yes, yes we can. And I started to study MikroTik and using MikroTik for create VPNs. I started watching a lot of video of MAM. I am here because they inspired me to improve myself. And I find that MikroTik is a great solution to start to train yourself and to use the device, because we have a simple device, very cheap device, that in this device you can do a lot of lab and you can move on the biggest device. It's fantastic. But a company that I work, they closed and they lost all of my business. What can I do with what I have? I have experience with MikroTik, and I decided to start my career as a consultant. I started to train technicians, but they don't have the correct device to learn with MikroTik. And what can I do? And I started to create some tips, some videos, some vocal memos about the question that the students asked to me. And I realized 600 of vocal message on my Telegram channel, one by day, every day. From the 1st January, I started to realize one video by day about MikroTik and GNS3 on my YouTube channel. You can find me on YouTube. And I realized the video from the question from my customer, as Thomas. This journey told me that certain results are not achieved in a day. It takes time. Nothing of this cannot be done without network emulators for me and for my students. And you can realize a simple lab about DHCP or Masquerade. You can realize an OSPF lab to understand how OSPF work with fun, with A3. Or VLAN on the train, or VLAN on the airplane, for example. Not in the cloud, is in your laptop. Or you can deep dive with Wireshark about DHCP, for example. There is a lot of topics, or you can test some, for example, with the guys of FlashStart, I test their platform in the lab. And today I will be speaking about how to create your personal lab on a PC with GNS3. GNS3 is not the number 3, but is because it's free. The main goal is your skill, is not the tool. Don't waste your time searching the best tool if you are starting about this technology. When you improve, the next step is to find the best solution. But for a start, GNS3 is enough. It's only a tool. Okay. There is the EVNG Community Edition. I started from the Community Edition of EVNG, but I moved to GNS3 because there is no limitation. You can run multiple labs at a time. You can disconnect the router, the link of the router without shut down the router. You can simulate link trouble. In the Community Edition, you cannot do this. And in GNS3, there is Wireshark integrated very interesting tools to understand how the router works in the background, or Docker supported natively and cluster supported. There is very amount of functionality. There is, in the next version of GNS3, there is the possibility to use multiple login with user and password, and you can assign a single lab to other login account. In the background, there is QEMU in the same in EV and in the GNS3. The basic is the same, but the big difference is EVNG use the Linux bridge, and GNS3 use an U-bridge. It is a UDP tunnel to connect the device. This is the motivation, because in GNS3 you can run multiple lab in multiple different servers, and you can connect multiple server and multiple router in a single lab. GNS3 is a ready-to-use solution. You can download the virtual machine ready to use, and you can import the virtual machine directly on your VirtualBox. Just download, import on a hypervisor, and run. Yes, we need a hypervisor. There are two main types of hypervisor, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is a hypervisor that runs directly on the hardware without need for a host operation system, like VMware SXI, Proxmox Hyper-V, KVM, Proxmox. This is my home lab in my training center. I bought some cheap server from eBay, from a data center that dismissed this machine. And I realized a video, there is a link on the MikroTik forum or on my YouTube account, how to install GNS3 on the Proxmox. And the second choice is type 2 hypervisor, like VMware Workstation or VMware Player or Oracle VirtualBox, Parallels, Microsoft Hyper-V installed directly on a Windows Desktop Professional Edition. I use VirtualBox as a hypervisor because it is open source, available almost on all platforms, Windows, Linux, macOS, Intel, with Intel CPU. If you have an Apple device with Apple Silicon, did not work. But you can buy a PC, a small PC. I use this Elite Desk. This is for starting for the first lab in the past. You can check if your device supports virtualization from the task manager of the Windows. If you don't have the virtualization enabled, you can enable it from BIOS. GNS3 works directly on a web browser. In the past, it's not good. Today, it's very good. It's very usable. And just run the virtual machine and put the IP in the browser, and it is the result. how to get GNS3 VM? You can obtain GNS3 VM from in several ways. The first way is from the GNS3 website. You have to register to sign in, register into the website, and you can download some version. The version is VirtualBox. Or from the GitHub page, and you can download directly without registration. Okay. VirtualBox, you can download from the website of VirtualBox. This is my direct link that I used with the direct link. If you don't have the Visual C++, you have to install the Visual C++, but this is only one click. And now I've prepared all of the steps. I can't show you in live because my PC don't like the projector, but I have all the slides. Next, you have to install VirtualBox without change any configuration. Setup is completed. Press N to start VirtualBox. And now we have VirtualBox. This is the main GUI of the VirtualBox. From the preference, we have to check if the network is correctly. We need two network interfaces, one for the management and one for the NAT. This is the schema that I have prepared. This is your PC, and this is your Ethernet or wireless connection connected to the internet. Now, this is the yellow is VirtualBox. GNS3 VM run inside the VirtualBox. Okay. We need two network connection. The first is for the management. That it is a switch. It's like a switch. From your PC at layer 2, you can communicate directly with the virtual machine inside the GNS3. Because when you run MikroTik CHR, it is another VM inside the GNS3 VM that run in the VirtualBox that run in your PC, like a matryoshka. And with this host-only adapter, this is like a switch, you can reach your device at layer 2 with MAC protocol or Ramon, for example. But if you want to go to the internet from your CHR, you have to pass from the NAT. NAT is like a router, okay? And NAT reach the internet. This is a question that my students ask me every day. I receive this question. Okay. It's important to check the network configuration. The first is the IP on the VirtualBox host-only adapter, and the second, for easy installation, is to enable the DHP server on this interface. Because GNS3 VM starts with the DHP client by default. And you can set a static IP address, but this is the easy way. Okay. Host-only is like is a virtual interface, is like a virtual switch. This is your PC, and this is your GNS3 or other machine. Okay. You can connect to your device inside the GNS3 with this interface with your Ramon or Winbox without an IP address. You must use this interface to connect to your router. And the NAT interface, it works like a router with Masquerade, and if you need to give internet access to your lab, you have to use this interface. It's not possible using the interface to have access to the lab via Winbox because we have a NAT, network address translation, on this interface. How to import GNS3 VM, extract the file, and now you have an OVA file. Double click, and an appliance, import virtual appliance appear. Don't touch any preference, just click Finish. Now we have GNS3 VM inside the VirtualBox. Click Start. Of course, check if you have the network interface correctly set in the GUI. This is the correct setting. Host only adapter in the first adapter and not in the second adapter. And start GNS3 VM. Check the IP addresses assigned from VirtualBox DHCP server and open a web browser. This is the machine. This is the IP that the DHCP assigned to my virtual machine. Tips: if you click on this interface, your mouse is not usable outside the virtual machine. To unlock your mouse or your keyboard, you have to use the right control button. Open your browser and write the IP addresses. This is the IP addresses. This is the IP addresses. Click Enter, and this is the web interface of GNS3 VM. Now we need the MikroTik CHR image. Go to the MikroTik download page, and in the download in the software, you have to go down in the page, and you have to search cloud hosted router, the raw disk image. Just click and download this image. Now we have the image. You have to extract the image and to create the virtual machine inside the GNS3. Go to the preference page and click on QEMU instance and add QEMU VM template. Run this QEMU VM locally because you can run into multiple servers, and write your name. It's important, very important, select the correct emulator, not SPICE, but only x86 without SPICE. Check if the console type is Telnet, and now you can import the disk image that you have previously downloaded from the MikroTik website. Disk image, new image, browse. The pop-up appear, but you cannot see the image because we have a filter, QCOV2 format. Select all the file, and the file appear. Select the file. The web browser uploaded the image on the GNS3 VM, and now we have an appliance. We have to do some setting on the appliance. The first is to set, please click on the appliance. In general setting, write the name. This is the name. When you import a router inside the lab, this is the name that the GNS3 assigns to your router. I use the R as a router. You can select icon, choose symbol. There is a lot of symbol ready to use. With this search by file name, you can write router and select a router of the color of you prefer. And in the network tabs configuration, I prefer to use ETH and not Ethernet to short the name, and not use the 0 because in your schema the interface starts from 0, but in MikroTik starts from 1. If you use port 1, your design starts from 1, equally as the MikroTik router. It's only for don't have some trouble from 0 to 1. You can use paravisualizer network I/O interface instead of the E1000. In this case, with the E1000 is good, but you have all the interface always in run. It touch, if you don't have a touch and nothing on the router, is in run. Using paravirtualizer Virt.io, the interface is in run only if you attach sometimes some device to the router. It's important if you write a script and you check if the interface is in run or not. These important tips for you. Now, VirtualBox doesn't support nested virtualization. Nested virtualization is a technology that allows a virtual machine QEMU to give the access to the hardware. VirtualBox gives the access only for the first virtual machine, only for GNS3 VM, not from the QEMU inside the GNS3. You have to add an option for QEMU and to use the software virtualization and not the hardware virtualization. Add minus machine space Axel TCG. This is the parameter of QEMU, is a standard QEMU. In this case, you have the CHR run by software, not by hardware. It is a little bit slowly, but is enough. I run in my lab in my PC with 18 router. The OSPF lab, like a tree, is run in this type of emulator. Okay. Click start, save, return to the server, and add your first lab. Hello World, or I use MTPC, MikroTik Professional Conference. This is the web interface with the plus icon and the connect the dots icon. And this is the node to add a node, like IP address or a name. Okay, it's very easy to use. In this, with this button, you can show the grid or hide the grid, enable snap to grid to have a design more in order. We are going to add the router. We have the cloud node for the Winbox connection and the NAT for the internet connection. I put this icon in the design, and now I connect with a link. When you select with a click your object, a pop-up appears with the interface. You can select what interface connect to your device. In this case, you must use Ethernet 0 for the cloud to have access with the VirtualBox. If you have multiple routers, you can use a switch, cloud switch, and use the port of the switch to connect to the other router, or you can use multiple cloud nodes, or you can use only one cloud node and enable the roam function on the first router and in all the router, and you can use the connection for the with the first router to have access to all the routers of the lab. Okay. Now I start the lab and I open the web console on the web browser. After 10 seconds, 20 seconds, the router is ready to use, and you have to do the login and set the password. And with Winbox, you can have the router reachable at layer 2 because they don't have an IP on the Ethernet 2. And now you are ready to do your lab. I have connected the NAT in the Ethernet 1, and my router received an IP address from the NAT node, and if you do a ping on the MikroTik website. It works. As a trainer, I have a message. Keep planting your seeds because you never know which one will grow. Maybe everyone will do it, said Albert Einstein. And the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. It takes time. Don't quit. Keep going. Thank you.